right, and for the second game that we're going to put up here, we have the finals. So if you guys want to know when these go up, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button on the video, and most importantly, turn on that bell so you get notified when these videos actually do go live. So finals, baby. Finals. We got Maykon Jackson versus ZincElemental from Team Aretuza. So another fire matchup here. We'll see who's able to get the better of the matchup and take home the first ever RCO Invitational victory. Again, if you guys didn't watch the beginning of the last video and you're only here for the finals, which obviously you want to watch all the other videos too, because especially this tournament, there's a lot of good matchups, a lot of good players. You can check out the Swiss rounds over at my website, shitjustworks.gg. Link will be in the description below as well. All tournament footage and VODs will be posted on that website moving forward. You will have the semis and the finals there as well. But more importantly, the Swiss rounds, some of the earlier stages of tournaments will only be viewable on that website. So check it out if you guys want. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Maykon Jackson versus ZincElemental for the finals. The first ever RCO Invitational.
Getting into game, I think.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get into the game here. We're going to have two hands yet again. And
I might have gone too early. I'm just going to exit the spectator real quick to make sure that there's no issue of me getting frozen on mulligans.
Yeah, no, you're good. It looks like I got in too. So we are getting started here, everybody. We have game one of the finals of the first ever RCO Invitational. We have ZincElemental versus Maykon Jackson. Let's go ahead and get into the game here in just a second after I pull up the second. Now we can get into the game.
So when we saw this matchup in Swiss, both players banned each other's Frostbite mid-ranges, and Zinc honestly got pretty unlucky with his Shen Fiora. First he saw no units, then he saw only units, and he just hasn't been able to find that healthy mix. Is gonna have a shot at redemption here in the finals against Maykon.
Yeah, and we'll see if Zinc is going to be able to take that one home, getting the revenge like you mentioned. And barrier versus miss rates, we actually haven't seen this today, so I'm already kind of excited. I mean, again, trying to find the spice where possible here today. And one of the more spicier matchups we've seen. So already getting one of the fearsome blockers out here onto, looks like this. Well, actually, yeah, going to throw the Elise under that to block it. Interessante. So going to go ahead and sacrifice the Elise there. Get rid of that Bright Steel Protector. Just really caring about getting rid of the units on the side of Maykon Jackson.
Yeah, and honestly now Maykon sort of struggling to find the spells, has the River Shaper, but really no protection for it. And this is not a matchup where you can afford to just get something like that down and have it try to take multiple hits. It's just not going to happen. Does have the Shen Fiora developed, though, and I mean, Zinc has sort of a soft answer in the Frenzied Skitterer. It does at least mean that the Callista, will not die if that's the play that you want to go for. But, I mean, in the long term, Zinc doesn't have an actual answer for that combo and might start to struggle with it a little bit later on.
But, yeah, Fiora, Shen hitting the field. I mean, we have a lot of fearsome units already. We also have Frenzied Skitterer, and I think that Frenzied Skitterer, it's going to get a decent amount of value in this matchup. I mean, if you look on the field now, you already see Fiora, Shen, and Brightsteel, or an unleveled Shen, I should say, all would be below fearsome blocker potential with one Frenzied Skitterer. So that might come in big depending on how each person's board develops here in the next couple of turns.
Yeah, I think Zinc's best bet is to just try and go as wide as possible, get a Skitterer down, take out, at least two blockers here, like you had mentioned, and just going for as large a push as you possibly can. Doesn't have, sort of the missed Wraith Train rolling just yet, so it's going to take a while for the board to get impactful. And with a Screeching Dragon coming down on 5 for Maykon, I'm really not sure that Zinc is going to have enough time to set up an effective enough board to really take the win on that big Skitterer push.
Yeah, and Maykon, if I remember correctly, Maykon is playing Two Spirits Refuge, right?
Yes. Yeah,
so
it does have that additional lifesteal available.
Just from how everything is panning out here, just this matchup in general, I mean, There's a lot of fearsome blockers in Maykon Jackson's deck. On top of that, the blockers that aren't fearsome can be made fearsome with plenty of things like reposts and things of that nature. And then you also have the Spirit's Refuge. So honestly, you know, turn 5, being at 16, Maykon Jackson I think is really comfortable playing the long game as well. Even has single combats and concerted strikes to just throw units into some of those fearsome units as well on the side of ZincElemental. So Zinc, if Zinc does win this game, it's going to be something like this. So this is exactly what I was just talking about, getting superb value here. We almost have to use this single combat now.
Actually, I think Maykon might just win on the next turn.
Yeah, wait, are you...
We have Fiora's riposte for the block.
Oh,
that's gonna
with Fiora.
That's gonna level Fiora. Mm-hmm. We can go for the open to kill something, and then single combat for lethal potentially.
Yeah, see, and this is what I was talking about Fiora earlier. You were saying it's only good versus Endure Spider. This is another matchup.
That was you.
No. You were saying that I was saying it was only good versus.
Oh
Endure
yeah,
Spider.
because you were.
No,
and look at how wrong you are. Watch it win.
It's also good. Anything with like smaller units like this, or technically these aren't even small, but it's just because of the barriers, it just, you know, wins out. Units that die and don't have an impact, I guess, would be the way to put it. Because these fearsome miss rates, you know, yeah, sure, they do a lot of damage, but they can't be killed easily with, you know, the way that this barrier deck works, and not really have any sort of backlash onto the barrier deck player. So the Fiora is going to go ahead and level up there. We only need 2 more kills. We got a challenger here.
Yeah, I mean, there's now this Fiora is out of range of a single Nocturne or Skitter, her, you know, putting her out of the fearsome range, so we can just go in for the attack here. There are only 2 spells in the deck of Zinc that can pop a barrier, and that is a 1 of Vile Feast and a 1 of Atrocity. But there are enough. Oh, now there are not so many low HP targets that Maykon doesn't have to take that into account, but. You know, does have the Notify, so it doesn't have to worry about the Vile Feast, and this should be a pretty clean kill next time Zinc goes in for an attack.
Yeah, and yeah, picking off more of these fearsome miss rates as well, and yeah, the Screeching Dragon going to survive through this too. You were talking earlier, you know, what are we more scared of, Fiora or Screeching Dragon? In this case, I think we're a little bit more scared of Fiora, but you can see the work that, you know, Screeching Dragon is putting in as well, being able to pick off these miss rates. And honestly, I don't think Maykon Jackson is really too worried, and we don't see anything like another Frenzied Skitter or anything in hand that would actually be able to give Zinc a chance to win here.
No, this is looking pretty wrapped up in Maykon's favor. I really can't think of any... Like Zinc would have to draw an Atrocity to get around the Notify and use that to pop a barrier, and it just seems like such an unrealistic sequence of events.
Yeah, here's a Stalking Shadows on, looks like Doom Beast and Stygian Onlooker are the choices.
I mean, so in theory and Magical Christmas Land, we can Stalking Shadows into another Doom Beast, have 5 Doom Beast in hand, somehow get them all down. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Listen, Doom Beast is a thing, okay? This deck can't win with just massive amounts of Doom Beast. I'm just throwing it out there. But now...
Okay, so we've got... Okay, talk to me about the 4 Stygian Onlookers.
All right, I'm just saying. This is a thing. It could happen.
It's about to happen. You're going to lose as soon as you line up your attacks to riposte, but
it doesn't matter.
You know, at least at the very least, it's going to happen.
Oh man, yeah. Unfortunately, this.
I would like to see. Yeah, Zinc's going to run them all out. I like this. This is cheeky.
I mean, listen. Technically, this.
In theory, this is lethal
sense.
if there's no barrier spell, or I mean, even single combat would be lethal because you do still have a 3 attack unit.
Yeah, River Shaper not going to be able to block, so there's just... Look, I like the... Great emote, Maykon. Great emote. Yes. What is that emote called, by the way? Huh?
Oh, I have no idea.
It called, huh?
I can check after the game right before we get into the next
one. Or,
one.
like, more importantly, does that cat thing have a name?
I mean... It reminds me of Yumi, but it's not the same color. It'd have to be like a skin, right? Is it supposed to be that pet that Maykon has?
I think it's supposed to be that pet. All right, so yeah, Morph said it is Huh. I think it is literally called Huh. So I think it's that pet that's on the field, but I don't know where... Oh, it's Kit. That is Kit. Okay. That was in the Spirit Blossom event?
Spirit Blossom?
Yeah, okay.
Probably.
Yeah. So where does Kit come from? Where does that thing come from?
Ionia.
Yeah, but like, what? Okay, all right, Mr. Lore expert. Jesus. So, all right, yep, lining up the blocks. Only going to take 8 damage. Doesn't matter. Fiora going to win the game with the repost.
And this is what, look at the drama, the cinematography. Where is this out of Star Spring, huh? Wait a minute. Are we not getting the animation? I hate this.
Yeah, no, there's no edit. Wait, are we not?
It doesn't. Maybe we have to wait for combat to finish and then it'll go off.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, look at this. The drama, the tension, the rose petals, the flourish.
Listen, I will say the Star Spring animation leaves something to be desired. I think they could have put a little bit more effort into that.
Yeah, like there is an animation and that's all cool and well and good, but I want a cinematic. You know, I want to be wooed and dazzled.
Wooed and dazzled, huh? Wow. All right, so we have 1-0 now. Making Jackson up there.
And I believe that is the game that Zinc won in their previous match. Was eventually able to overtake with, I believe it was a double skitterer play or something along those lines to get over a bunch of blockers of the Shen Fiora. So, you know, Zinc already losing the one game that he did win in Swiss. Things are not looking great for him here in the finals.
All right. Well, now it looks like we have... All right, Leona, Diana, kind of this Eclipse control. Is Maykon the one not playing Eclipse Dragon?
That is correct.
God, I don't like that.
So it's really interesting, and this is one of the things that I love about Legends of Runeterra. We have a Shadow Isle Targon Mirror, and these decks are so incredibly different.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think generally speaking...
Actually, even one of them being Shadow Isle Allegiance and the other being Targon Allegiance.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. And yeah, I love that. Thank you for pointing that out, Boulevard. I absolutely love that this game has such a diverse offering of decks, just even between 2 single regions. It is awesome. So many good cards. And I think Zinc is generally gonna have this game as an advantage. I mean, obviously, Maykon can't... I mean, we have the Leona turn 4, which will kind of help going into an attack turn for Zinc on turn 4, unless there's an open attack. I think, generally, Zinc is probably going to want to open attack most of the time as well to avoid, you know, all the Obliterate stuff, all the Celestials, Leona, yada, yada, yada. So we'll see if we just get this 4 damage coming through from Callista here in a second.
So who has a more impactful Allegiance whiff?
The miss rates, Zinc. Yeah. Yeah, okay. 100%.
Because I feel like these are definitely the 2 harshest ones to whiff.
Yeah, no, I think miss rates 100%. Because this miss rates goes more all in, I think, on the strategy of need to go aggro, go fast, go face. So... whereas if Allegiance misses, Maykon's deck is designed to go a little bit longer into the game, so it's not a big deal.
I was thinking similarly, but at the same time, if Maykon misses Allegiance, you have just played a 4-mana 2/3 against a fearsome deck.
It's rice wrapped in sweetened toast. Man, those are 2 completely different things for Inari, man. You guys are way far off on that. You guys gotta communicate better. Yeah, so not going to actually get any damage through there, unfortunately, which feels really bad. You know, like I mentioned, I feel like Zinc does have the capabilities of taking this one, but so far Maykon doing a really good job of staving off this first couple of turns of aggression. This Callista, I mean, we do have Sunburst, so I don't know if the Callista will actually level at some point. Ooh, is this, 5, 6... All right, looks like we are going into a double Risen Mist open attack, possibly. Which might do really well.
I mean, yeah, we've gotten the Leona off the field. We're even going to clear out the Fearsome blocker here. That is... Oh, man, what are the mist rates at? Are they going to be 4 attacks?
I think 4 and 5. 5.
And then 5, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be, 16 damage pushed through? Oh, but the Traveler is going to live here on this interaction. We could throw out the Pale Cascade, but then we can't get down double Risen Mists on the next turn. We will just be a little bit shy of that. But 1 Risen Mist is going to be good enough.
Yeah, unfortunately, getting one of those down there. But yeah, no, I do agree because I don't think you really gain anything on the side of Zinc by going that much all in on one turn. I think if you separate it out over 2 turns, it actually is going to do a lot more for you. So I do like this, and this is going to push a ridiculous amount of damage, which is very nice. But we do have Star Shaping off the top of Maykon's deck here, so going to have to do an additional 5 damage if Zinc is going to want to take this one home.
Yeah, and now it's, I mean, this is one of the criticisms of Star Shaping, right? Is you don't have a board. At 5 mana is a lot to stunt the development of that, because if you just spend your next turn Star Shaping, you are dying to the open attack, and you honestly don't have literally anything to develop looking at the hand of Maykon. Nothing in your hand is going to block Fearsome, and then, yeah, you can go for the Star Shaping in combat, but that also stunts the development of that turn. No matter what, you're going to have to take a turn off, and yeah, things just not looking great for Maykon here, because Zinc is going to go for as powerful an open attack, or at least a burst open attack, as possible. And it really does come down to what pops out of the Spacey Sketcher. But even if it is a Fearsome blocker, I don't think it's enough to deal with everything that Zinc has left. And, I mean, gets the Trickster.
Yeah, and I think this
actually goes for the Serpent.
Which I don't hate. I mean, the Serpent would pick off one of these Miswraiths, which is really what represents the most damage on the board at all times now. So Charger you could develop as well as a blocker. So I mean, there's plenty of things Maykon has here, plus the Star Shaping. But yeah, this open attack. Do you? Oh no, never mind. I always forget. I always want to play like Stygian Onlooker going into an open attack, but that doesn't work. Like
so
that.
Now Zinc can Skitterer.
Yeah.
And preserve the entire board, but that would take away the Risen Mists option, which theoretically does represent 1 more damage if you let Maykon kill this Mistwraith and then summon the new one at the start of the next turn.
Well, wait, no, you always Skitterer here, right? You Skitterer, you save all your Fearsome units, and then next turn you open with Risen Mist, then you have, what, 5 Fearsome attackers? Yeah.
Well, okay, so tell me what Risen Mist into this board.
Oh wait,
looks
well,
like.
unless he doesn't attack, and
Yeah.
then it doesn't. Do you ever not attack though to clear something?
To clear the 1/1? I mean, you're trading a unit for a unit either way, so it doesn't seem worth it. Literally the only thing you would be doing is opening yourself up to a Risen Mists.
Yeah, you might be right. So, okay, well, there's that.
Looks like Makon's gonna go for it though.
I don't think it's gonna matter one way or the other, but you know.
Oh, we're actually just pushing.
Oh, the Unspeakable
okay, we're setting
Horror.
this up for the Unspeakable Horror.
Okay.
Man, having to look at 2 monitors for 2 hands sucks.
Yeah, so many more things going through the brain compartment. It happens.
Yeah. So, what we've got?
And yeah. Well, there we go. Okay, I was gonna say, where are you putting that Callista at? It's going all the way to the end there.
So the Star Shaping effectively puts us at 12. Then we get the Nightfall effect. That's gonna, yeah, I'm pretty sure that Makon's got a really good shot at living here.
And what do you open yourself up to if you? I mean, we see the Crescent Strike, so obviously
yeah, we see the Crescent Strike. Outside of that, I mean, Leona is always a consideration.
Well, the other thing too, though, I mean, we have a Nocturne, so even if you play the, you can't play the Stygian Onlooker first. You can't play the Nocturne first either. I always
I mean, you would have to play the Stygian Onlooker first to get the Nocturne ability off, and it looks like that's what we are going to go for.
Ooh, the Shield Bearer too, though. Do you play? You always play the stun here, right? That's theoretically going to get you the most. Actually, it doesn't matter. So now if we play the Nocturne, we're going to get the stun and the Shield Bearer down.
Yeah, technically opening with the stun is better for Maykon going into the Nocturne, and I mean when your opponent overwrites a unit to start off the turn with a Stygian Onlooker, what reads are you making if you're making Jackson? What do you think is coming next? The only Nightfall card in the deck, I believe, is Nocturne.
I mean, maybe Doom Beast, but you would always do that post-combat, right? So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's always Nocturne. And now, so something else to consider, I don't know if you actually do play the Shield Bearer. I think it makes more sense because you get the additional drain off of the Unspeakable Horror to save the mana for the Unspeakable Horror and the Star Shaping to preserve to not only prevent the most damage, but to also preserve the most life.
I'm surprised that we overwrote the Elise instead of the Stygian Onlooker. Or is this Nocturne going to level? No, Nocturne's at 0 out of 5.
Yeah, that's a little... wow, okay. I'm really surprised we played the Shield Bearer. I feel like you always prevent more damage this way by keeping open the Star Shaping and the Unspeakable Horror. So we will maybe just really... Yeah, what? Maybe just valuing getting rid of the Nocturne and not caring about that one life. 8, 9, 10.
Well, I mean, you're living either way, right? Because you can just Unspeakable... I think you do open yourself up to a couple of different things going for this Unspeakable. For example, like, what if there was a Mark of the Isle or a Pale Cascade out of ZincElemental here? You would just lose the game on the spot. But, I mean, at the same time, the Star Shaping is only preventing as much damage as the Shield Bearer is.
There's the...
At the end of the day, you are getting every fearsome blocker off of Maykon's side of the board. They really don't have much to do other than go for the Star Shaping next turn, and that means that they're not going to be able to get down whatever actually, comes out of it. You're going to get to develop this Risen Mist. You now have a leveled Callista. I think Zinc is going to have no problem taking this one away on the following turn.
Yeah, it should... Yeah, we should be fine in the following turn. There's no fearsome blockers left. Cygnus would be one of the only things that we get down as a fearsome blocker, and that's a big commitment.
I guess Maykon's next turn is just open with Cygnus.
All right, Solari Priestess. I mean, we could get something.
Oh, we even find the Harrowing. Our board's a little bit too big for that. Let's see what we can get out of Solari Priestess. You're going to see it before I do.
Looks like, Golden Sister. So that's a thing. That also provides 2 fearsome blockers, really crucially. So I think that's a pretty snap decision on the Golden Sister here. So...
What was that?
I mean, I don't know. Maykon, I feel like, might have a spot to start to come back here. The Harrowing is the kind of the break glass in case of emergency. So if everything does go wrong, then we should be able to just rip that and be fine.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that Maykon's going to be in a good position because you don't have an answer for this Callista that is going to be summoning Wraith Callers.
And you have a Risen Mist,
sticking you permanent mist rates, yeah.
Yeah, this would actually fill the... So if we attack with Callista and play Risen Mist, I would actually fill the board with 6 attackers. I don't think you ever play Harrowing. Yeah, there we go.
I was hovering the eye to see what comes out of the Harrowing. It was like, Nocturne. Yeah. It looked like another Callista, but she might have just gotten moved over. It was kind of hard to see.
There we go. Just reordering that properly.
Yep.
And, yeah, this should be a Wraith Caller plus another Wraith. That's... 4 fearsome blockers with only... Sorry, 4 fearsome attackers with only...
Well, the Mist Rate doesn't come
I always
combat,
forget that. Yeah, I always forget that.
But at the end of the day, there is still no way for Maykon to remove the Callista. It actually does have a Hush for the Callista, so could kill it and stop the Wraithcaller train, and it looks like that is what Maykon's considering here.
Yeah, we always live... I think, through this turn. So it's really just going to be a matter of the follow-up turn. Will we be able to clean up with Harrowing? And I think the answer is yes. Because
are you going to live through the next turn? Because there is a big Celestial that can come down this turn, followed by Cygnus the Moonstalker, and I think Maykon's going to be able to steal this one with Elusives on the following turn.
Is this where we finally see... We constantly say how the Immortal Fire is not the elusive that we see. Are we finally going to see an Immortal Fire victory here?
Nope, it is... I mean, yeah, it's Immortal Fire, it's Cygnus the Moonstalker. I mean, Maykon has 4 Elusives in hand and 1 on board. The mana to play one of them this turn as well. This...
Wow.
Unfortunately for ZincElemental, does not look like his day, and I'm thinking Maykon Jackson. I'm trying to think of what. So Atrocity. Atrocity is the answer, right? But I don't think Maykon's going to tap out of Hush mana on the following turn. Might actually not get down the Immortal Fire for fear of a Hush or for fear of an Atrocity on this turn. Actually.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. Atrocity always a consideration, and.
But I think Maykon has to tap out on the next turn to go for lethal.
What we got?
Or I guess, no, yeah, you'll still have the 2 mana available. I don't know how big this
Oh,
Immortal
11.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, that's really big. That's bigger than I thought it was going to be. And yeah, still hangs on to the Hush mana,
wait,
so
11, 15.
nothing Zinc could do, even if he
Wow.
did get the proper top deck. That is heartbreaking for ZincElemental, but congratulations to Maykon Jackson. Picking up RCO Invitational 0.5, the inaugural one, coming in with what we would consider an extremely safe lineup. And I mean, both Shen, Fiora, Frostbite, mid-range players making it to the finals. If you were wondering what you should be running into the seasonal tournament, it looks like safety was the king on the day. Is that going to be the case in a week? I can't answer that question for you, but I can tell you today, Maykon Jackson got it with a very safe lineup.
Yeah, and super impressed with the play here from Maykon Jackson with these fearsome decks. It is very hard as a control-oriented deck, as we see here with Maykon Jackson, to actually play around all those fearsome attackers, making sure you have enough fearsome blockers. And I think that Maykon did an incredible job here to, like you said, win the first ever inaugural RCO Invitational. Maykon Jackson, congratulations, my man. We were just talking about how, unfortunately, you did not win an OLS, but fortunately for you today, winning the RCO Invitational. So, hell yeah, man. Good job. All right, and congrats to Maykon Jackson taking it home there. We were trying to figure out if Maykon had won anything in the past. I think Maykon has actually taken home a tournament, but it was one of the smaller community tournaments floating around that you normally see on the weekends. We thought it was OLS. OLS has actually grown a ton lately. And actually, speaking of OLS, if you guys are interested in OLS, link to that will be in the description below as well. That tournament is happening this weekend if you want to go ahead and check it out. Myself and Boulevard will be casting as per usual. It is going to be a one-day event this Saturday, thanks to the seasonal tournament, the first round of the tournament happening on Sunday. So if you guys want to check that out, link below in the description. But Maykon, regardless of the past, has officially won. It's smaller with entrance size, but the difficulty size of the tournament very high there. We got tons of great players going head to head, so Maykon able to go ahead and take those players down. Pretty good. That definitely shows Maykon's skill there. So congratulations to Maykon Jackson. Super excited to see you take home a victory here. And as always, everybody, stay healthy, stay positive. I hope shit just works for you, and peace out.